begin 1-0 up after their victory and their away goal at the new Tottenham Hotspur Stadium last week. And Ajax plan to reach their first Champions League final since 1996. Ajax tonight are wearing that famous kit with the white sleeves and white sides of the shirt and the broad red band vertically up the front and the back, white numbers, white shorts and white socks with red trim. And their captain, this boy mountain, Matthijs de Ligt, the 19-year-old, shaking hands with the experienced World Cup winning captain that Tottenham have in goal. He's all in orange, Hugo Lloris. He's indicating that the teams are going to switch around, actually. And there's actually a late change to the Ajax team. Neres must have a problem, because it appears that Kasper Dolberg, the young Danish striker, is out there on the field, the number 25. He's very blonde-haired, long blonde hair. Here he is, yeah, next to the centre circle. So a late change for Ajax, and it's Neres, David Neres, who has not been able to come out, clearly been injured in the warm-up. So
I think he was on the bench at the weekend, wasn't he? Or he was certainly an injury concern.
Came on as a sub in the cup final.
For the weekend, yeah. There you go. And that's a massive blow, because he has been a key player for Ajax in this competition. Got the important goal here against Juventus. So I think we'll see Tadic come out to the left-hand side, and Dolberg, centre forward by trade, will go up top.
So it is Ajax against Tottenham Hotspur. We're live here in the Johan Cruyff Arena on the south side of Amsterdam on a mild evening. The roof is open, we can see the blue sky above, and Tottenham kick off 90 minutes away from their first Champions League final. But it's a tall order tonight to win through here and turn this tie around. I hope you enjoyed the drama last night. I hope you were listening to Five Live and Ian Dennis and Alan Shearer with the commentary. I can't promise that we'll be able to provide anything quite as dramatic as that, but this Champions League very, very rarely fails to deliver at this stage of the competition. And so Ajax, who are playing from right to left in the first half, against Tottenham, who are wearing their two-tone green, the jade green and the dark green sleeves and shoulders, and Ajax with the ball inside their own half. So Ajax now, having made that change, yep, you're right, Chris, Dolberg playing through the middle and Tadic on the left-hand side. They have Onana in goal, who's got the ball at his feet now, clearing the ball away as Lucas Moura tried to close him down, and it is out of play on the halfway line. Tadic just leaned into by Trippier. It is only a throw-in, says the referee, who's the German, Felix Brich. So the Ajax team, Onana in goal, a back four of Mazraoui, De Ligt, Blind and Tagliafico. In midfield, Schöne, Van de Beek and De Jong. Van de Beek, who scored the only goal of the tie so far. And then Ziyech on the right, Tadic on the left now, the top scorer this season, and Dolberg through the middle. Onana with the ball at his feet again, left-footed, curls a long pass out, but Sissoko shields that and it's out of play for another throw. And Tottenham tonight, Lloris, Trippier, Alderweireld, Vertonghen and Rose, Wanyama and Sissoko, Eriksen, Ali, Lucas Moura and Son. Sissoko swinging a high pass from right down below us, out to the far side to Danny Rose. And Son, who is on the left-hand side just for the time being, Son takes possession and knocks it back into his own half. And we've got the two former Ajax central defenders, Vertonghen and Alderweireld. Jan Vertonghen, who's wearing a Perspex mask on his face, didn't play at the weekend. Mauricio Pochettino said yesterday he's fine. There's no problem with his well-being. He said it's not an issue, but he is wearing that Perspex mask as the ball is played back to Daley Blind. Blind onto his left foot, curls a pass here to the left-hand side, where the left back, the Argentine Tagliafico, finds Tadic. Tadic is away from Trippier, back onto his right foot, but the former Southampton man on his left foot again, and then uses his right to poke it forward for Van de Beek, and Van de Beek turns near the corner flag now, plays it in field, a stretch from Tadic, that takes it back to De Jong, and now here's Schöne, square from him, and the ball is lifted into the penalty area and chested down by Dolberg, but he couldn't get the ball under control. It's cleared away, it rattles around, then a shot on the edge of the penalty area from Ziyech, which is blocked on the edge of the box. And now Tottenham break. Lucas Moura receives it from Dele Alli, but De Ligt leans into him and wins the ball back for Ajax. Chris Sutton.
Yeah, and he should have fed Son. Moura has a chance. Son on the left-hand side, on the overlap. Couldn't feed the ball through. There was a chance for Ajax. I just wondered whether there was an offside in there.
Ziyech now to Tadic, edge of the area, shoots! And a save by Lloris. Full length, left hand to it. And that is a top save from the Tottenham goalkeeper to push it round the post.
Yes, Tadic off the left-hand side. I think it takes a deflection off Kieran Trippier's left ankle, and Lloris has a big left hand to get it round the post. You feel Lloris is going to have a big night for Spurs.
Well, that will make him feel good. Clearly there have been questions about his form this season. Got a good sight of it. Perhaps the deflection helped him, but a good save nevertheless. Corner then for Ajax. This is the first of the match. It's 0-0, very early stages here on BBC Radio 5 Live. The outswinging corner, De Ligt with a header! Scores! Ajax are in front! Only 4 minutes on the clock, and it is the 19-year-old captain towering above anyone else, heading in from 7 or 8 yards. It flew past Lloris. That is the early goal that the Johan Cruyff Arena wanted, and there is an explosion of noise in here, and this semi-final now has just become all the harder for Tottenham. 1-0 Ajax, 2-0 on aggregate.
It's poor from Tottenham's point of view, but this young man is going places. De Ligt lights up the arena. It's the perfect start from Ajax. I think he runs off Trippier. Just checking this, the referee, Spurs players surrounding the referee, asking for a foul. I didn't think it was, but it's a towering header. No one on the post for Spurs, and Spurs are really going to have to do this the hard way.
So Trippier marking De Ligt.
And Dele Alli was centrally on the 6-yard line.
But De Ligt lost him, didn't he? De Ligt lost Trippier.
I think Trippier's there as a blocker. They've gone half zonal there, but Ali didn't attack the ball. But as soon as he got the run, De Ligt, unstoppable, but clinical header.
So 1-0. We've now played 5.5 minutes, and Matthijs De Ligt, that's his 7th goal of the season. Remember, he scored the crucial goal, the winner away against Juventus. Here's Son on the left-hand side. Son now into the penalty area, does well, plays it across, hits the post, ball scrambles inside the box. Eriksson on the stretch could only stab it into a defender on the edge of the 6-yard area, and the ball's cleared.
Wow, what a start to the game. I think it was a cross from Son, really good driving, run down the left-hand side, went across the ball in, and Nana let it go. And it hit the post, and somehow Ajax scrambled it to safety. Lax goalkeeping though from Onana.
Certainly was. He stepped off his line at the near post, and Son drove it low, and it hit the foot of the post. Eriksson was in the box stretching for it, but couldn't get any meaningful shot in on it, and it was blocked on the edge of the area. And so it is still Ajax 1, Tottenham 0. But we've got to start here a little like the Etihad Stadium in the previous round for Tottenham.
Yeah. And Spurs responded in the Etihad. Just watching again the corner, and it is Trippier. I have to say, it's really poor from Trippier initially. You know, he's there as a blocker. De Ligt just shrugs him aside, gets an easy run and powers over Ali and heads it home. The perfect start for Ajax.
Yeah, Dele Alli was effectively stationary as De Ligt was making the run high above him, or at least a head above him, and that was enough for De Ligt to head it. What a good header as well, though. Central defender, classic central defender's goal from a set piece.
Well, he's a powerhouse who can play, but really disappointing from Trippier. You know, he's been assigned to do a job there. Make sure you get a block on, don't make it easy. I'm not saying Ali covered himself in glory as well, but very difficult when a defender that powerful gets a run and a jump on you.
So 2-0 on aggregate. Sissoko is challenged, he is fouled as Daley Blind comes in and catches Sissoko, who's just stayed down rubbing his right knee, right thigh.
There's a bouncing ball. I think that's a naughty challenge. He's lucky to get away with that. Bailey Blint. Sissoko
studs up, caught him on the side of the knee. Daley Blint. It's a free kick and nothing more than that. Could easily have been a yellow card. 1-0 Ajax lead. Free kick though. Trippier to take this in, curls it beyond the defensive line. Flicked back in from the left-hand side by Dele Alli and cleared out into the full-back position on the far side. Eriksson turns, plays it back to Danny Rose. Rose then infield towards Sissoko with those distinctive white wristbands on each wrist. Long to the right-hand side to Trippier. Here's Lucas Moura. Lucas Moura plays the ball straight into Tadic. And so Tottenham are back in possession, closer to the halfway line. Trippier going back into his own half. And we see for the first time Erik ten Hag, the coach, who has had this terrific season. They're in the running for a treble, and no one expected it. Their first match in this competition, in the second qualifying round, was played just 10 days after the World Cup final. Here's Trippier. Many of these Tottenham players, of course, were only just back from the World Cup. Here is Wanyama, plays it to the left-hand side for Tongan. And now Wanyama up towards Lucas Moura, and he's leaned into by Blint, and Tottenham come out with the ball. Lucas Moura now to Dele Alli, 30 yards out, taking it onto the edge of the D, and that's a superb sliding interception and tackle.
Guess who?
From Frankie de Jong, the Barcelona-bound Frankie de Jong. Nipped it away beautifully, but here's Eriksson now on his old stamping ground. Oh, lovely reverse pass to Dele Alli, curling shot wide of the far post from the left side of the penalty area.
Well, I think the flag went up anyway, but what a start to the game, really open. Lovely reverse pass from Eriksson. We know he's capable, and he is marginally very tight. Dele Alli offside, but off the mark as well. It was a poor effort.
So Ajax have continued their record of scoring in every match at home this season. They've only lost one in any competition here. That was to Real Madrid in the last 16, and of course they went and won so convincingly and so brilliantly in the Bernabeu. That was their 166th goal of the season in all competitions. 1-0 they lead. Here the ball is played by Van der Beek to the right-hand side. Ziyech on his left foot shoots, but it took a double deflection. Bounces back to the red and white of Ajax. Blint is almost joining in the attack. Now here's Tagliafico to Ziyech, edge of the penalty area, forced wide into the full-back area. Tadic at close quarters. Ziyech still going, curls over the cross to the back post, and Danny Rose is able to chest it back to Lloris, who sets off Tottenham immediately on the counter-attack. Danny Rose just cantering forward at the moment, and then passing the ball to Son on the left wing. Son turns and takes on De Ligt, who gets in the challenge. Huge cheers, such a favourite here, this 19-year-old, who played in the Europa League final 2 years ago against Manchester United, remember, as a 17-year-old. He's the youngest man ever to have achieved 100 appearances for the Ajax first team.
Talk about leading by example. He's a real powerhouse. Got pace, reads the game well. He's got the lot. Erik ten Hag saying he's not going to be here next season, and all the big guns are going to be in for him.
And Chris, as well as that, as well as being supremely talented, he looks like a film star. Tall, blonde, hair swept back, blue eyes, big jaw. He could be in a western, couldn't he? Taking on John Wayne. There's one for our younger listeners. Ajax leading Tottenham by 1-0. It's not serious yet, but it was a tall order. Now it's a really tall order.
Well, I mean, Spurs, it's clear what they have to do now, but they have looked a threat in the early stages going forward.
However, Van der Beek now to Schöne. Back to Van der Beek inside the penalty area. Now back to Schöne, but Eriksson comes in with a challenge. Van der Beek still puts the challenge in on Sissoko, but Eriksson was there to chip it away to the halfway line. But across from right back comes Mazraoui and clears, but Lucas Moura now running with intent at the Ajax defence, but under pressure passes the ball beyond Dele Alli, and Mazraoui, who is back at right back. Mazraoui, the Moroccan international, one of the Moroccan internationals in the Ajax squad, like Ziyech. He's played most of the season at right back, but had just come back from injury, which is why Veltman played in the first leg.
He's a versatile player, Mazraoui. Playing midfield as well, but all these Ajax players very, very comfortable wherever they play.
Eriksson lifting the ball into the area. Lucas Moura just heads it on, and the ball drops into the gloves of the Cameroon international goalkeeper Andre Onana. So Ajax leading by 1-0. I'm sure you can hear the brilliant atmosphere. They have a massive, absolutely massive red and white drum, which is right in the middle of the end to our right, and there are a number of Ajax supporters who are gathered around it with their taps off, as they say in Glasgow, as you'll know, Chris, as the ball goes back to Onana. Out to the right-hand side. Chris Sutton, who once scored for Celtic here in this competition, in this stadium. Here now is, I suspect there'll be some taps off that night to celebrate it as well. Here's Ziyech. Ziyech playing the ball forward now for the run through the middle by Dolberg. Drafted in late. Oh, and then Ziyech catches Danny Rose. He was late and sent Danny Rose sprawling. I think he's okay. Free kick Tottenham.
Very clever from Danny Rose. Under pressure, Ziyech behind him. Just lets it run through his legs. Out on the left-hand touchline. But Ziyech at the World Cup was a bit of a disappointment, has to be said. But he's been a revelation. Right foot, left foot. Good shot on him.
Ball played up from the back by Alderweireld, headed on by Lucas Moura. Dele Alli, the ball bounces down. De Ligt is there. De Ligt wins it back from Dele Alli. Stronger, just looked like a greater hunger there, and he took the ball away, and Ajax are back in possession inside their own half. Chris, all of the European ties that you were involved in, this sort of situation, you know, what at Tottenham, what has their approach got to be now?
Well, I mean, you know, at the start the emphasis would have been on balance, not conceding an early goal. It's the worst possible start, but, you know, Spurs know they can't concede again, but go back, in the first leg they didn't really look a threat going forward. They've looked a threat in these early stages. They just have to be clinical, whether it's the final pass or they get the opportunity. There's still no rush from Spurs.
BBC Radio 5 live in Amsterdam. Ajax winning 1-0 on the night, 2-0 on aggregate, as Vertonghen is caught there by Dolberg on the halfway line, and it's a free kick to Spurs. Get the ball rolling quickly. Vertonghen just getting to his feet, just putting his hand up to his mask. I think he was just readjusting it, as Lucas Moura now 15 yards inside the Ajax half loses possession. Sissoko is able to win it back. Strong holds off Tadic. Then Trippier, pass was a little ahead of Sissoko, who slides into the challenge with Tagliafico. There were feet raised there as the two of them came together. They're still on the ground. Sissoko is pleading his innocence. Tagliafico has reacted quite strongly there to the challenge that came in. And referee Brick is actually reaching for his yellow card for Sissoko.
Well, do you know what? The referee let the earlier one go. Daley Blind. I think Sissoko feels he can get the ball, he goes to ground, and that's the issue. Now, I think it's a yellow card, but that shouldn't be the first one of this evening. I think Mauricio Pochettino, he's unhappy about that, and quite rightly so.
He's all in black tonight, Mauricio Pochettino. He looks a little bit like he could be in the Western that Matthijs de Ligt might be in. Here's the ball down the left-hand side that's deflected out of play, and it's a throw into Tottenham halfway inside their own half.
We've only seen the bad and the ugly of Spurs so far defensively.
Yeah. And we had the spaghetti last night. Throw in from Trippier. Here's Lucas Moura. Lucas Moura rolls the ball to the left-hand side. Yeah, we watched that night of nights last night for Liverpool in an Italian restaurant with absolutely no one else. Son tries to take the ball through the middle. De Ligt is able to take the ball away, and now Ziyech, his pass hits Rose, and then Ziyech is able to turn it all the way back to De Ligt again on the edge of the penalty area. Ziyech's almost in his own right back area. Little ball to De Jong, and now Ziyech, and this is trademark Ajax this season. They are passing the ball slickly and quickly out from the back, and they're passing it around Tottenham, and you can hear the reception to this as well from the Ajax supporters inside the stadium around us, 55,000 or so.
They cannot let De Jong dictate the play. He's in Dele Alli's area. He needs to be all over him, Dele Alli. Don't let him get his head up. Everything goes through him. Go into him, he orchestrates the attacks.
Chris, for those listeners who might not have seen Frenkie de Jong play, you know, Barcelona are spending something like 75 million euros on him. He's 21, he's 22 this week actually on Sunday. Tell everyone what it is about him that makes him worth that money.
Well, in a city famous for their artists, I mean, he is an absolute artist, he really is. He glides through the game, he's in possession.
Van der Beek is flicking the ball to Ziyech. Ziyech crafts a pass that's beyond Tadic, down the left and bounces beyond him and out of play. Throw into Tottenham.
I can't remember seeing two young players, De Ligt and De Jong, who are this mature at this stage of their careers. I mean, they play like 32-year-olds who have 100 caps. They really do.
Yes, De Jong in midfield, he's a bit more of a Rembrandt, isn't he? Whereas De Ligt at the back, he's a little bit more Jackson Pollock. Throw in for Ajax on this side of the field, up towards Dolberg. Bounces down, and then Sissoko, just a little push from Dolberg, and it's a free kick to Tottenham halfway inside their own half. Almost 20 minutes played, and that hurly-burly start to the match has just settled down now, which I guess is good for Ajax as well, with that goal.
Well, we know they have more goals in them, don't we? I mean, but credit to them, because that change at the start, Neres off injured, they've adapted very well. Dolberg going centrally.
And Tadic on the left-hand side, keeping the ball. Van der Beek actually turns and back heels it to Tadic when he could actually have just passed it to him. And now Tagliafico goes to ground very easily again. Sissoko in with a challenge. Second foul on Sissoko against Tagliafico, and it's won Ajax a free kick on the left-hand side, halfway inside the Tottenham half. It's looking good for Ajax at the moment. 20 minutes on the clock. Ajax 1, Tottenham 0. It's going to have to be quite a comeback, quite a Champions League fight back, if we're going to see only the second final featuring two English clubs in the Champions League. Free kick, chance for Ajax to make it even worse. Now Ziyech plays it in, and it's headed up and away by Vertonghen. Did well actually, Vertonghen running back into his 6-yard box and heading it away. And Lucas Moura now forward to Christian Eriksen. Christian Eriksen has two men on him, manages to find the pass to Son, who's come all the way across to the right-hand side. But he has the ball nipped away from him by Mazraoui, and they're at it again, Ajax. Passing the ball from the back, and then it goes back into central defence to the goal scorer, De Ligt.
Yeah, so quick and slick with their transitions. Ajax was good defending from Mazraoui. The Spurs broke out.
Ajax, 4 times European champions, not since 1995. As Tottenham play the ball back into the centre circle. Tottenham trying to get to their first European final since the 1984 UEFA Cup. Here's Sissoko in the centre circle. Sissoko battles his way through 2-3 challenges, still going. Sissoko plays it to Son on the right hand side. Son approaching the penalty area, step over, goes for the curling shot. It's deflected right across the area, but Rose couldn't get there, and Mazraoui was able to step out and clear it away. And then Ziyech is challenged, he's fouled. Free kick, Vertonghen coming in with a challenge. Free kick to Ajax.
Spurs hard done by there, but that was a good positive driving run from the powerhouse Sissoko in the middle of the park, through a few bodies, popped the ball out wide, and the shot from Son came to nothing.
Ajax 1-0 up, and Maurizio Pochettino has plenty to think about there on the touchline. Spurs' second semi-final of the season. They've lost in semi-finals in each of the last 3 seasons, and 2-0 down on aggregate here. Are looking at another exit in the last 4. Still 3/4 of the match to play though, as the ball is passed forward by Tagliafico, but Alderweireld will get there and steer it back to Lloris on his left foot. Passes the ball out to Wanyama, edge of the penalty area. Back it goes into the box to Vertonghen. The whistles and the jeers. They're trying to put the jitters on Tottenham, who are passing it out, Ajax style. Rose, nice flick from Ericsson, back to Rose, who's over the halfway line. Rose is then shoved over, referee allows play to continue. Dele Alli, what a pass to Son! Son stabs it goalwards, and Onana is able to drop down to his left and make a routine save.
Oh, I tell you what, that was really good from Spurs. Ericsson in his own half, clever little flick to release Rose. He popped the ball into Dele Alli. It's a really incisive ball. Son in between the two centre-halves. And he just can't get the ball out of his feet enough. And he prods the ball. Onana gets down to his left-hand side. Half a chance for Spurs.
It's more like it, that's what they want. That was good from Dele Alli as well, and here he is, Dele Alli to Lucas Moura, who's driving into the penalty area, lays it back. Ericsson with a shot straight at Onana from an angle on his left foot. He shot straight at the Ajax goalkeeper's chest.
Well, they have to be clinical at some stage, Spurs, and it was a really good driving run from Lucas Moura. Got in between the centre halves. Actually prods the ball back of it. Ericsson, you expect him from that range. How many times, 16 yards out, how many times have we seen the net bulge over the years?
2 chances there for Tottenham. Now that gives Spurs fans, 2,500 or so of them up in the corner of the Johan Cruyff Arena on the far side, a little bit of hope. But you're right, Chris, they've got to take them. They cannot afford to see chances come and go like that. Trippier long and forward, but that just drifts straight out of play, and Ajax still lead by that goal in the 5th minute from Matthijs de Ligt from the corner.
You can only describe that pass from Trippier as a shank, and he is moving very awkwardly and holding his right groin, and I do believe he's had problems in that area before, but he's had a very shaky start to the game.
Yes, he has. Caught out, or at least De Ligt lost Trippier for the only goal of the night so far, so let's just keep an eye on Kieran Trippier. Sorry, Chris.
I suppose the question is De Ligt, why is Alderweireld not picking up Ajax's best header of a football?
A very good question. Free kick to Tottenham on the halfway line, just in front of the where the managers are standing in their technical areas. Mauricio Pochettino looks as though he's got the weight of the world on his shoulder at the moment. Alderweireld to take this free kick. He's going to take it short, back to Vertonghen in the centre circle, and then square towards, and in fact Tottenham are going backwards into their own half. I notice as we commentate here there are a couple of young people moving around the media area with a tray full of drinks. How very thoughtful that is, as Alderweireld's going to play the ball all the way back to Hugo Lloris. Now to Vertonghen, inside the box, passes it just in front of Dolberg, out to the right hand side, Alderweireld, and then Ericsson comes short. Trippier, back to Alderweireld again. Tottenham struggling to get out here. Up it goes, Dele Alli's beaten in the air by De Ligt. Stretch from Vertonghen to head it to Dele Alli, middle of the Tottenham half. This is rather unconvincing from Spurs here. They're really unsettled by Ajax.
It's a little bit too slow at the moment, but we talked about Ajax at the start being fearless. They're putting a high press on Spurs, but that's better from Dele Alli.
Lovely from Dele Alli, beats 2 men, takes the ball on towards the edge of the penalty area. Son, low cross to Moura, but it deflects off Moura. Back to Tagliafico, who's able to clear to the halfway line, but good again from Dele Alli. And here Son on the right hand side receives the ball, moves away from Blint. Ericsson centrally, back to Sissoko on the right hand side. Sissoko looks up, low ball to Son near the edge of the penalty area. First time touch to Ericsson. Ericsson moving from right to left, then rolls the ball to Danny Rose, puts his foot on it, plays it into Ziyech, and the ball spins away for what is Tottenham's first corner of the match.
Better passage of play from Spurs. And I tell you, I know Ajax are confident, playing well. Only takes a goal from Spurs. Right back in it. And 2 would see them through.
Currently 1-0 on the night, 2-0 on aggregate to the Dutch league leaders. Here the ball played in from the left hand side from the corner from Rose. Lucas Moura off balance, hits the shot, but because he was off balance it just screwed away well wide of the right post, and it's behind for a goal kick to Ajax, who are leading by 1-0. We'll have more from Darren Fletcher, who's back in the 5 Live studio. Darren Fletcher played so many Champions League games for Manchester United. Chris Sutton here in the stadium with me, played so many Champions League games for Celtic. And Ajax with the ball back halfway inside their own half and going all the way back to goalkeeper Onana, who passes it out towards the far side. Long pass from De Ligt. He's looking for the Dane Dolberg through the middle, who pulls the ball down, and then in steps Alderweireld, who's able to take the ball away from him. Sissoko passes the ball, it takes a deflection, Ziyech, and the ball runs back to Lloris, who's able to come out and pick the ball up on the edge of the penalty area. And we'll hear from another former Manchester United man at half-time, by the way, Phil Neville, on the day that he named his England squad for the Women's World Cup. So Phil Neville at half-time. Here is Sissoko down the right-hand side. Blint turns, volleys it downfield, ball into the full-back position. Alderweireld turns, and then will play the ball back into the box to Lloris. Lloris to Vertonghen on the edge of the penalty area, then back into the 6-yard box to Lloris, who signals long. He's taken the ball right out into the left-back position and does hit the long pass. But guess who's underneath that? De Ligt.
Well, don't kick it on him. I mean, he's their powerhouse, the dominant one in the air at the back. Lloris kicks it straight down his throat, and he hasn't missed a thing so far this evening.
Just runs his fingers through that blonde hair as the ball bounces out of play on the far side for a throw into Ajax, who will go back into their own half. The atmosphere is vibrant here. I'm sure the Ajax supporters, so many of them will have been confident, positive, hopeful of heading to Madrid, where they'll play Liverpool. Oh, and Nana, that's a mistake from the Ajax goalkeeper. He's kicked the ball straight out of play for a throw-in to Tottenham.
I was going to say, he's usually brilliant with his feet. A couple of moments ago, I'm glad I didn't.
Here's Eriksen infield towards Wanyama. Wanyama moving from right to left, and then in comes Van der Beek with a challenge. And then De Jong finds Ziyech in the centre circle. And Ziyech's pass out to the left-hand side to Tadic, who's cutting into the box now. Tadic against Alderweireld, leaves him on the ground, shoots right across the face of goal, and narrowly wide of the far post, and a cross for a goal kick.
Well, Spurs still in this competition by a matter of inches. Really poor play from Wanyama, who's still down in the Ajax half. Took too long on the ball, too many touches. I think it was Van der Beek who stole the ball off him and then released Tadic. And this isn't a Tadic I remember from Southampton in any way, shape or form. Drives from the left-hand side. Alderweireld backs off, and he just pulls the ball with his left foot from an acute angle, narrowly past the far right-hand post of Lloris's goal.
So close. Wanyama is on his feet, he's okay. Dusan Tadic has scored 34 goals this season, and that's many more than he scored across 4 seasons for Southampton. 23 goals in 4 seasons for Southampton, but he's just fitted in here perfectly. 22 assists as well as his 34 goals.
Incredible, really, and he's played a number of positions, but mainly as a false 9. There's always been a talented footballer.
Just got a stoppage in play, Chris, at the moment. I was wondering what was going on, because Lloris is standing with the ball in the 6-yard box in his hands. It's because the referee's microphone is not working, and obviously that's absolutely crucial with VAR, because he needs to speak to Bastian Dankert and Marco Fritz, who are sitting in the video assistance room. Right, they've got that sorted out. Ajax leading 1-0. BBC Radio 5 Live, 2-0 on aggregate. Tottenham have had chances, but the chances have come and gone. Son, who is playing mainly on the left-hand side. Moura mainly through the middle. Here's Rose. In comes the challenge from Schöner. Bounces out of play. That's given as an Ajax throw, which Danny Rose protests strongly about. Throw-in is taken though. And here is Frankie de Jong, another of the Ajax blonde bombshells. Back it goes to de Jong, and the pass is deflected off Son, out of play for another throw to Ziyech there on the far side. It's actually going to be taken by Mazraoui. We've played 32 minutes. Huge screens hanging from the roofs at either end of the stadium, high above the two penalty areas. Little foul and a free kick to Tottenham.
Dolberg nearly caught the ball there.
Here's Son playing it infield to the halfway line to Eriksson. Eriksson on his left foot passes it straight into Schöne. And now Ajax again. Every minute that ticks by, this becomes so much harder for Tottenham. We know they've got to win here tonight. Cannot be extra time now, incidentally. So we won't have penalties, we won't have that sort of drama. But Tottenham have got to turn this around. A 2-1 win on the night would be enough for them with the 2 away goals. But he has Moura on the right-hand side. Daley Blind in with a challenge. That's good from the former Manchester United man. And then Blind 1-2 with Schöne. Then Blind to Van der Beek. And now Ziyech in the centre circle. Ziyech curls the pass to the right-hand side. Tagliafico, Tadic near the halfway line. Just almost right next to where the coach, Eric Ten Hag, with his bald head is standing. Tottenham win it back. Ali, his ball through towards the edge of the penalty area, but De Jong was there and was able to unfussily play the ball back to Onana. And again, it's with De Jong in the left-back position, and De Jong just running the ball away, still going. Dele Alli in with a challenge, then Wanyama as well, and he's upended. And Danny Rose actually blasts the ball across the pitch, and it hits the referee, and he apologises immediately. But a free kick for the foul on De Jong.
Yeah, I said De Jong, he glides in possession. He's got the feet of a ballet dancer. He has outstanding player. Started off as a centre-half and read that situation. Well, when Spurs look like they're getting in behind, he has the absolute lot, a range of passing, knows when to run and when to play.
Blind hits a long ball forward and it's headed away by Trippier. Eriksson, and then it's deflected and Blind is there. Feet of a ballet dancer. Famous Dutch ballet dancers. You can go first. Onana to the halfway line.
Where's Ali Bruce Ball?
Where is he? Where is he? He's in Valencia. Here's Van der Beek, takes it away from the halfway line. Van der Beek now. Tadic is free on the left. Tadic receives it. He's into the box now. Pulls it back. Ziyech, left foot. 2-0 Ajax. They're on the way to the final. This exciting young team have just torn Tottenham apart again. From the angle, a left foot shot curled beyond the dive of Lloris. It's 2-0 on the night. It's 3-0 on aggregate. Surely Tottenham can't come back from this.
It's a long, long way back for Spurs, but what a finish from Ziyech, the Moroccan magician. Really good play from Ajax. Down the left-hand side, and the ball is weighted into Ziyech. Was he 16, 17 yards out on the angle? And it's just rolled into his path. And he whips the ball superbly across Lloris, who has no chance. Lloris floundering at that. But what a player, what a team, what a moment. You just don't see it for Spurs now. It's a brilliant finish, it really was. Clinical. That's what Ajax have been, and that's what Spurs haven't been. That's what they've lacked, that clinical edge.
2-0 on the night, 3-0 on aggregate, 3-0. When was the last time a team came from 3-0 down to go through in a Champions League semi-final? There's a question for you. Less than 24 hours ago. But this is completely different, Chris. This is now mammoth for Tottenham to get through. Well, as the score stands, they've got to win 3-2. Nothing else, nothing less than that will do. So that would obviously mean that Ajax don't score again. And here is Van der Beek and Ziyech just scoring the second goal. Plays it to Tadic, who just set that goal up. He's on his right foot. Ball cut out by a stretching Alderweireld on the edge of the penalty area. And here's Frankie de Jong, who's going back into his own half.
Yes,
De Ligt is there as well.
Cleaning everything up. We've hardly mentioned Van der Beek. What an important player he is. Just plays in and behind the centre forward, will drift in, make penetrating runs and get in those little positions in between centre half and midfield. He's another young top player, kept hold of him, linked with Roma strongly at the start of the season. They are just full of it, aren't they?
They are. Great scene inside the stadium here. Almost 55,000 people And in the end to our right, where the bulk of the popular support is, that's where the big drum is. That's where all the boys with their shirts off are standing. I mean, it looks like that stand is moving on its own. They're all dancing and celebrating, and they really are thinking about an Ajax trip to Madrid now. Ajax against Liverpool. What would have been effectively a Johan Cruyff tribute night was cancelled last night, with the prospect of Barcelona against Ajax in the final. But it might well be that the club where Johan Cruyff really made his name will be there in the final. Tottenham.
This is Spurs' season, John. They've got Champions League football. I don't think they have to worry too much about things turning round at the weekend. They've just got to get one and hope.
Yeah, the chances that they've missed, they've been costly, because then Ajax have scored that second goal. Here's Eriksson, lovely, trying to find his way through. It's blocked on the edge of the box by Mazraoui. Comes out to Sissoko. It's over the top of Son. And now Ziyech is there, and he, under pressure, plays the ball out. What about Son on the left-hand side? Lucas Moura in the middle. Do they necessarily need to change anything just yet, Tottenham?
They've had opportunities, haven't they? And he's elected to start with Son, but Son has drifted out to the right-hand side. I just think that second goal has really knocked the stuffing out of Spurs. They need to regroup.
Mauricio Pochettino has gone to sit down on his seat just next to the mouth of the tunnel for the time being. Ajax 2, Tottenham 0. Dele Alli to Eriksson. Oh, lovely pass from Eriksson to Rose. Rose chips it to the back post, and on the turn, Tagliafico on this far side of the penalty area turns before Trippier could get there to clear it away on his left foot. Tottenham need those moments to turn into clear chances when Eriksson set up Danny Rose on the left-hand side. Trippier pulls the ball back and gives it back to Alderweireld. 5 minutes to go to half-time, just a little bit more than that, plus added time. Son. Then back to Vertonghen. Alderweireld's 5 yards inside the Ajax half, just beginning to shuffle forward. Sissoko makes himself available. Back it goes to Vertonghen in the centre circle.
Got to move the ball quick. You can see Ajax just taking a breather, sitting deep, letting Spurs play in front of them. And we know that they will break really quickly when they win that ball back.
Prospect of a final between two English clubs in the Champions League is slipping further and further away all of the time. May yet have an all-English club final in the Europa League, though. We'll have that for you tomorrow night. Commentary and coverage from the second leg of the semi-finals from the Europa League, this time tomorrow here on 5 Live. Commentary from Valencia with Alistair Bruce Ball and Don Hutchison with Arsenal, and we'll also be at Stamford Bridge where Chelsea have their second leg against Eintracht Frankfurt. That's 5 Live's football commentaries and coverage tomorrow night. Tottenham 2-0 down here inside their own half. Dele Alli back to Sissoko. Danny Rose has made a run into the centre circle, and Danny Rose now takes it on towards the edge of the box and gives it to Son, whose touch was poor. Gave the ball straight away to De Jong, and now it's up to Tadic, and Ajax are breaking away again. De Jong dummied to hit the long pass to Tadic, goes back into his own half and gives it to the bearded Dane Schöne.
They've been quite wasteful, John, haven't they, Spurs, in and around that Ajax box. Unlike Son there, heavy touch. The Ajax defender.
That's a poor pass from Blint, though, giving the ball back to Tottenham. Tottenham, I mean, how important, how valuable, how significant would a goal before half-time be for Spurs?
Absolutely, but you're looking for characters now. Just hang on in there. They need a miracle.
Trippier curling the ball forward. Blint comes across, gets there ahead of Son, who has popped up on the right-hand side here, but plays it downfield, and Alderweireld under pressure from Dolberg has to play it back to his goalkeeper, and Lloris chips it away to the halfway line. Mazraoui wins that easily, and then it's played forward by Ziyech, but that ball will run away over the white line and behind for a goal kick to Tottenham, who trailed 2-0 on the night, 3-0 on aggregate. Chris Sutton.
Yeah, that Moroccan connection down the right-hand side. It was an opportunity. Ziyech, reverse pass, left-footed, and just overhit it. He looks a real threat, doesn't he, Ziyech?
He does. Tottenham. Oh, Trippier playing the ball across, very nearly gave it to Dolberg. Dolberg put in the challenge. Wanyama then put in the challenge as well on Lasse Schöne. The two of them got there at the same time, but that was a stout challenge from Sissoko, and he's left a little bit on Schöne, who stayed down.
Well, I tell you what it was a terrible pass from Trippier, who has been way off the pace. Schöne, the Dane, steals it off the defender, and then it is a strong challenge from Wanyama.
Free kick then for Ajax. Yeah, as he stepped into the challenge, just stepped on the foot, the top of his left foot, and it's a free kick.
Too far to shoot, I think, from Schöne.
Lasse Schöne, the number 20, is back on his feet. Remember, he scored from a free kick against Real Madrid. Plays it into the area, it's headed across by De Ligt, and then headed out of play by Wanyama and behind, and it is a corner for Ajax from the right-hand side, and they've got Tottenham here just exactly where they want them, leading by 2-0 on the night, half-time approaching. There'll be in no hurry here to take this corner.
And we see Vertonghen now edging over towards De Ligt and Trippier. And it's very strange, why doesn't Vertonghen just mark him?
I mean, De Ligt is towering over Trippier. It sort of underlines it, really. If you weren't listening earlier, De Ligt got away from Trippier in the scoring of the opening goal in the 5th minute. Corner is eventually taken short. Ziyech plays it back, then into the area by Mazraoui, headed away on the edge of the 6-yard box by Alderweireld. Tottenham break. Lucas Moura plays it out towards the right-hand side. Sissoko gets there, but the red and white Ajax shirts are dropping back into position, and actually Sissoko goes back to Alderweireld, who chips it aerially. That's easy for De Jong to win in the air, and it's headed out and down for a throw-in. Fourth official is ready with his board. It's been Ajax's half comprehensively. They've scored 2 goals. Tottenham have created chances. Son hit the post with that effort from the angle. Son had the chance saved. Eriksen had the shot saved, but the chances weren't taken. And now Tottenham are playing the ball back. Vertonghen to Lloris. Lloris passing it beyond Ziyech. Danny Rose now taking it on down the left-hand side. Still going Rose.
Look at Ziyech,
and
get back.
Puts in the challenge, took the ball but took the man as well. Free kick.
But that's what you're talking about, intensity. Ziyech shut the goalkeeper down, and he must have ran back 70 yards, sprinted, hurtled back to get the challenge in on Danny Rose.
Alderweireld, long ball right down the middle, right down the throat of Onana, who can come out and catch the ball right in front of his face. No problem at all. 2-0 to Ajax. By the way, if you're listening to us on your way home, you can carry on listening to our commentary while you watch 5 Live Final Score via the BBC iPlayer tonight, via the red button on your television, or on the BBC Sport website and app. Just look for 5 Live Final Score. 2-0 to Ajax. Added time at the end of the first half, 2 minutes of added time. And here is Van der Beek, who wins a throw-in off Eriksen. And Ajax will allow the ball to roll out of play. They won the cup final, Ajax, on Saturday. They said it was easy. 4-0 win against Willem II.
Didn't celebrate. I think they saw the article, Daily Blind, saying it was job done, celebrated on the pitch, then went home, recovered, and all the focus on this tie, this game.
Yep, Daily Blind, who I got a chance to speak to yesterday in the press conference. I said to Daly, I hope for the BBC, Daly, you'll give us an answer in English. Asked a long involved question, and he gave me a fulsome answer in Dutch. Here's Eriksen.
Double Dutch?
No, just the single. Here's Tadic. And then Trippier's able to play the ball back. Yeah, Trippier, I'm sure, will be singled out. You know, certainly in the scoring of the first Ajax goal, but otherwise as well. He's not had the best of seasons, wholehearted. Danny Rose then into the challenge, but the half-time whistle goes. And here's the reaction that you can hear inside the Johan Cruyff Arena. They approve, and well they might. They're winning 2-0. They're on the way to the final, Chris.
Oh, it looks that way. Spurs need a miracle. The worst possible start, conceding from a set piece. Guess who scored it? De Ligt, the young leader, powering a header in. And the second goal, real quality from Ziyech. A long way back. for Spurs. Nigh on impossible, but they have to hope. They would have seen what happened last night. They can turn this round. You have to say you just don't see it.
No, De Ligt leading the way through grit from Ajax. Too good from Ajax. 2-0, 3-0 on aggregate here in Amsterdam.
Spurs fans won't agree, Chris, but they are an absolute joy to watch, aren't they, Ajax?
Well, yeah, absolutely. They have been all the way through this season, and especially in this competition. Let's not forget the maturity they showed away from home against Real Madrid and Juventus. Played both teams off the park. They are so assured. They trust each other. They've been absolutely fantastic. I just wondered tonight, you questioned, and you're trying to cling for things for Spurs. Would they feel the pressure at home? Soft goal as it was, the first one. I'm not saying it settled Ajax down. I think they play that way anyway. But, I mean, they just look streaks ahead, don't they? And the biggest issue for Spurs, they need 3 goals. But you can't sit here and say, I can't see Ajax scoring again. They are ruthless. 167 goals this season. That's 2 more goals than Canals in Amsterdam.
Thank you. That's a impressive stat and impressive research as well. Just on the first goal, Darren Fletcher alongside me, that Chris called soft, was actually clever by Ajax, but also could have been disallowed.
I'm surprised it's not, Chappers. You spotted it before me. Van der Beek is completely blocked for Tongan, and De Ligt's got a free header.
Because Vertonghen was allocated De Ligt, wasn't
he was allocated to him, so he's marking him. All of a sudden, just before the kick's taken, Van der Beek steps in front, backs him, blocks him. De Ligt gets a free header. Fantastic. Well worked from Ajax, but with VAR, looking it back, I was expecting it to be disallowed. But for whatever reason, he obviously doesn't think it's a foul, but it's a clear foul for me.
Let me read some text. Omer on Ajax. These Ajax boys are simply... these Ajax boys, exclamation mark, simply brilliant display of character from them under the leadership of a teen. It's crazy. Max, as a football fan watching Ajax play, is a bit like going to a Michelin-star restaurant for dinner. Yes, it's just football, but it's just beautifully done. Jack, not an anti-Spurs thing, but this Ajax team are an absolute joy to watch. It would do the Champions League a great service if a team that has spent as little as Ajax win the final. In possession and out of possession, you could just see how well coached and drilled they are.
Listen, everyone will talk about Ajax in possession because the difference, Spurs, it looks like hard work when they're playing out. Ajax, it looks simple, but their energy and their work rate is unbelievable. No egos in the team. They're all helping each other. They're pressing in numbers. They're stifling Spurs. The odd time Spurs have broke through the press, they have looked dangerous, but it's very, very difficult to watch them do it. It's a struggle. Ajax are putting them under so much pressure, but then amazingly, when they went 2 up, they completely changed and they went into a low block and they let Spurs pass the ball in front of them, and then now they're conserving energy because they know it's going to be a long game and Spurs have to do something special now to beat them.
And the second goal was fantastic as well, wasn't it?
What a finish. The way to pass from Tadic, but what a finish from the lad. He's got his head down and he's whipped the ball left foot into the back of the net. Fantastic.
Ziyech, who is on Ramadan at the moment, and actually after 24 minutes of that first half took a gel from the physio, once it got to after 15 minutes, then he was able to have something. He did say pre-match that he might go and get a drink at that stage, but he was able to go and get a gel. Anthony, make no mistake about it, this Ajax side could easily beat Liverpool to win the Champions League. Keep them coming. 85058 at 5 Live Sport. Fred Finn Jones. I think since John won Commentator of the Year, says Fred Finn Jones. I don't know if you've seen this tweet to you, John, but I think since John has won Commentator of the Year, he's gone a lot more highbrow. I've been scratching my head at a few of the references.
That's all for Chris's benefit, because I know that he appreciates that sort of
Rembrandt and Jackson Pollock.
Things of life.
Keep them coming. 85058 at 5 Live Sport. Ajax 2, Tottenham 0 at half-time. An awful lot for Mauricio Pochettino's team to do in the second half, and we'll bring that to you over the next hour or so. But first, let's just pause for the news with Nick Hatfield.
On digital, BBC Sounds, smart speaker and online.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
The Duke and Duchess of Sussex have named their baby son Archie Harrison Mountbatten Windsor. Harry and Meghan made the announcement on Instagram. Archie won't have a royal title. Angela Levin followed Harry on his royal duties for a year and then wrote a biography about him.
He's brilliant with small babies. When he was a teenager, he went to Sentabele in Africa and he held these little babies who were very ill. And for a teenager to cradle a small baby in his hand so tenderly but so firmly to give it strength and confidence is very moving.
Regulators are recommending changes to labelling in restaurants, cafes and sandwich shops. They want all ingredients to be listed to protect people with allergies. The government will get the final say on whether the idea becomes law. Theresa May is resisting calls from some backbench Conservative MPs to set out a clearer timetable for her departure. Downing Street says she's sticking by her promise to step down once Brexit is delivered. 40 people have been investigated over child sex abuse allegations in Rotherham. The arrests have been made over the last 2 months as part of a National Crime Agency investigation. 13 alleged victims have come forward, claiming they were abused between 1997 and 2015. A 34-year-old man has been charged with 5 counts of rape and 3 of kidnap in Watford and London. Joseph McCann, who's from Aylesbury, will appear at Westminster Magistrates tomorrow. And Scotland could become the first country in the UK to bring in a bottle deposit scheme. The government at Holyrood has set out plans which would see people get 20p back when they return drinking containers to retailers.
5 Live Sports.
The semi-finals of the Europa League are here.
Back to Ramsey and in!
Arsenal v Valencia. Thursday night in an 8 o'clock kickoff.
Crosses in and Aubameyang finishes it off. No doubt about it now.
This is your football station. This is 5 Live. This is 5 Live, your football station.
The UEFA Champions League.
With Mark Chapman.
Ajax 2, Tottenham 0 at half-time, 3-0 to the Dutch side on aggregate, the second half on the way. England's squad has been named today ahead of the Women's World Cup in France this summer. They were announced in a unique way. Each of the 23 selected players find out that they've been picked through a series of celebrity messages on social media. So these were announced by the likes of Prince William, Raheem Sterling and David Beckham.
It gives me great pleasure to be able to announce that England's defensive rock and captain, Steph Houghton, will be on the plane to France. Steph, congratulations. I know you and the team will do the nation proud.
Stanway. As you know, today's a big day today, and I've been given the permission to confirm that you're going to France.
Hi, it's David Beckham here. I just want to announce that Nikita Paris will wear the number 7 shirt. Obviously, it's a shirt that I wore for many years with pride. It's a shirt that I captained my country in, so I know that Nikita will do exactly the same, wear this shirt with pride.
This is what Phil Neville thought about the way the squad was announced.
I think this watershed moment's been coming for a long time. I think the growth has been incredible. Probably quicker than what people can sometimes handle. But what I would say, the work that the guys have done on the announcement today, I think probably took my players' breath away. I've got to say that they were blown away with it. It was surprised. They did not know what was happening. We wanted to reward them for what has been a tremendous journey for them. And to give them a platform individually to tell the world that they're going to a World Cup. The World Cup is a pinnacle. You know, nobody should be embarrassed, nobody should be shy about telling the world that you're going to a World Cup. You know, it's the announcement's there, it's been done, everyone's excited about it. Now it's time to get down to work.
Vicky Sparks will be part of our commentary team for the World Cup and joins us now. Where were the surprises, Vicky?
Well, I think the squad chappers was largely expected. Steph Houghton, of course, the Manchester City skipper leading the side. No real big surprises in terms of inclusions. And great to see Beth Mead in there. Very talented young forward. Impressed as Arsenal won the title this season. She's one of 11 players who will be heading to their first ever World Cup. And England really do have a plethora of young attacking talent. The likes of Georgia Stanway of Manchester City, the PFA Young Player of the Year, Nikita Paris, Paris, also of Manchester City, has had a brilliant season as well. Fran Kirby also makes it. Now, she's been managing a knee problem recently, but has been playing for Chelsea, which is key. And then you have the more experienced heads like Horton, like Chelsea captain Karen Carney, like Manchester City's Jill Scott. So it's a really exciting blend of youth and experience. And the main thing is the young players are still players that are winning things at the top level, which will be important going into this tournament.
And despite, as you said, the 11 players who'll make their World Cup debuts, they've still had international experience with things like the She Believes Cup.
Absolutely. I mean, the She Believes Cup was such an important win for England. That was the invitational tournament earlier this year, hosted by the USA. Brazil and Japan were involved as well. And England won that for the first time and managed to get a draw against the USA, who are the current world champions. So, yeah, as you say, they have experience at international level. A lot of them played at Euro 2017. That was quite a few of those players' first major tournament. And they've been winning things at domestic level. They've been going far in the Champions League over recent years, particularly with Manchester City and the Chelsea players. So these are not young, inexperienced players who haven't been on the big stage. The Manchester City side, any player from that side is in the squad, played at Wembley in front of 45,000 people last weekend in the FA Cup final. So that as well will stand them in good stead going into this.
There are some big names missing, though.
Yes. Leon midfielder Izzy Christiansen. Now, she was probably the one who was closest to making the squad, although it was touch and go in terms of if you'd predicted she'd get in, probably 50-50. But Phil Neville says she's devastated. Now, she's been recovering from an ankle injury, and Neville confirmed that she would have been fit for the tournament, but others have been pressed in her place while she's been out. She was injured back at the She Believes Cup. It's a tough decision, and I think he hasn't hidden behind the injury either. He's been honest about the reasons for not taking her, saying other players have stepped up in midfield, but it's a big disappointment for her. England's most capped player in the men's or the women's game, Farrah Williams, also misses out. Now, she hasn't been as involved in recent squads, so not much of a surprise in that way, but certainly she is an experienced player and certainly could have brought something to the squad. She's 35 now. Phil Neville adamant it's not the end of her England career, says that she was unlucky to miss out. The other big one, Jordan Nobbs of Arsenal. They've known she's been out for a while. She's been out since November after rupturing her ACL. It was confirmed several months ago that she would miss the World Cup. So she will be a big miss that they knew about anyway. But England have most of their top talent available. And that's hugely important because, chappers, it is going to be a very fiercely contested World Cup.
Yeah, but whilst it may be fiercely contested, Phil Neville hasn't shied away from the fact that he wants them to embrace their chances of winning it. I mean, he's talking them up, not talking them down.
Absolutely. And I think his attitude has been very positive in that respect. He's very careful to say, we're not going to win it. But it's clear reading between the lines that they desperately want to make the final. They had their best ever finish at a World Cup back in 2015 when they won the bronze medal, had the agony of that late Laura Bassett own goal against Japan, who were in their group this World Cup. So, yeah, they will definitely want to go deep into the competition. But there's 5 or 6 teams who I think really have the potential to make the final. You've got the current world champions, the USA. You've got the hosts, France, who will see this as a huge opportunity to put past failures behind them. Germany, the Netherlands, Australia, perhaps the dark horses. But absolutely, England will be up there in terms of those teams that have a very good chance of making the final and a good chance of winning it.
Vicky, thank you. Vicky Sparks. Other sport headlines. England's first one-dayer against Pakistan was abandoned due to persistent rain at the Oval. Pakistan reached 80 for 2 in the 19 overs that were possible. Jofra Archer took one of those wickets. Chelsea have lost their appeal against FIFA's decision to hand them a transfer ban. The club will now appeal to the Court of Arbitration for Sport. We'll have updates of Chelsea's match against Frankfurt tomorrow night. Commentary of Valencia against Arsenal, though, will be here on 5 Live in the Europa League semi-final second legs. And the former Brentford boss Mark Warburton has now been appointed as the new QPR manager. Back to Amsterdam, Ajax against Spurs. Darren Fletcher in the studio with me. What can Spurs do in this second half?
They've just got to believe. I wouldn't be surprised to see Llorente come on. They have to try something different now. Ajax look like they're going to sit in and try and hit on the break. It might be a game for Llorente now. Be direct, get the balls forward. They've got to try something. They need a miracle. They need a bigger miracle than Liverpool had last night.
What are you cackling at, Chris? I can hear you laughing in the background.
Darren's ahead of the game there. Llorente's waiting to come on.
Oh, right. Well, we haven't seen that. We haven't seen the pictures. Genuinely, we haven't.
Come on, Pinocchio. Come on.
Honestly, we have not. Who's he coming on for? Do you know?
Looks like Wanyama.
Right, okay. So there you have Son and Moura either side of Llorente, would you, Darren?
Looks that way, yeah. They've got to go for it. They've got to be direct. As I said before, when Ajax scored a second goal, they started to sit a little bit deeper. Llorente will cause them problems, especially on Daley Blind. They've got to get balls in the box. What they tried first half didn't work. They've got an uphill challenge now, but they've got to go throw everything at it and give it one last big effort. If they lose by 4 or 5, it doesn't matter. They've just got to give it one. They've got to just leave everything out on the pitch second half.
Tactical acumen in the studio here with Darren Fletcher. Chris Sutton is alongside John Murray.
Thank you, Mark. Yes, welcome back to Amsterdam. Tottenham are out. They've been out there for some time, actually, but we're still waiting for the Ajax players to emerge. Ajax leading by 2-0. De Ligt with a header in the 5th minute. An excellent finish on his left foot from Ziyech in the 36th. So 2-0 on the night, 3-0 on aggregate. And Tottenham now, well, they've got to find something. They've got to find some of the spirit of, I don't know, Bill Nicholson, Keith Birkinshaw, Tottenham's European trophy winning managers, players like Dave Mackay and Cliff Jones and Steve Perryman and Alan Mullery, who've all scored goals in semi-finals for Tottenham in Europe, but they're yet to find a goal in this semi-final. And there's the confirmation from the board that it is Victor Wanyama who makes way and Llorente comes on. So now the Tottenham team, Chris Sutton: Lloris, Trippier, Alderweireld, Vertonghen and Rose, Sissoko and Ali, Eriksen, Moura, Son and Llorente.
Yep, and he's Mauricio Pochettino has gone all in. Wanyama and Sissoko, the two so-called protectors in the first half for Tottenham. Looks like Eriksen will go in now alongside Sissoko in that central midfield area. But Llorente needs service, but he had no choice really. Got to hope they can get a goal early in this second half and go from there. They have to believe they do.
Ajax to kick off at the start of the second half, as they started the match with Onana in goal, back four of Mazraoui, De Ligt, Blind and Tagliafico, Schöne, Van der Beek and De Jong in the middle, and then Ziyech on the right, Tadic on the left, and Dolberg as the central striker after David Neres was ruled out with an injury in the warm-up. So Dolberg came in to replace him for the start of the match. A very loud announcement being made for the, I presume, the Tottenham supporters. Throwing to Spurs immediately down the left-hand side. Tottenham, well, obviously, need an early goal. Apparently, I've just been told that the top trends on social media in the UK at the moment are Ajax and Tottenham, Trippier, Ziyech, De Ligt, Wanyama, Tadic, De Jong and Archie. I hadn't seen that at the bottom. I wondered why I'd been given that. Here is Llorente, plays it through into the penalty area, stretch from De Ligt, under pressure from Dele Alli, and it's gone straight behind for a corner.
Yeah, it's a good turn from Llorente, and he scooped the ball over De Ligt, who actually read the situation well, and he got a vital touch, full stretch left-footed, and goes behind. Dele Alli would have been in with an easy finish.
So it's a corner for Tottenham from the left-hand side. Set piece chance. Tottenham need a goal. Eriksen plays it in to the near post. That's where Alderweireld was making his run, but the two Ajax men there, I think it might well have been De Ligt who got the header away. And now Trippier brings it forward but loses possession. He's tackled. Van der Beek across the field to the left-hand side to Tadic, who just had to wait for the ball. And in doing so, the momentum then slowed, and Tadic's pass is beyond Ziyech and through for a goal.
There's a real opportunity. It's again poor play from Trippier. Maybe an argument that he should have been hooked at half-time. 3v2 for Ajax. The ball from Van der Beek was behind Tadic, and the momentum was lost.
2-0, 3-0 on aggregate. So Tottenham really do need a footballing miracle here at the home of Ajax of Amsterdam, the Johan Cruyff Arena, where you really cannot avoid the image of Johan Cruyff all around this place. There's an absolutely fantastic black and white photograph right at the top of the escalators here at the highest level of the stand. Down at the bottom there's a bronze bust of Johan Cruyff's face. His influence is just across Ajax, across Dutch football, European football is immense. It's like a monument to the man. Here is Lucas Moura on the halfway line, who's challenged. Van der Beek to the right. Here's Mazraoui. Ziyech comes short. Ziyech's pass straight at Danny Rose, and Tottenham in the all-green, the two-tone green kit, playing from right to left in the second half as we look here, high on the dressing room side of the ground. Play it forward now from Mazraoui, but Tottenham have got that back in front of their own penalty area. So 2-0 the score, 3-0 on aggregate. So Spurs are looking here at having to win by 3-2 on the night. 3 goals without reply. Lucas Moura wriggling away from the challenge of Tagliafico into the centre circle to Danny Rose. Danny Rose then shrugs off Ziyech. Rose takes it on, he's on his left foot, dinks it into the box, but it's behind Dele Alli. Llorente on the far side of the penalty area puts his arms wide apart as if to say, why couldn't you find me? Tottenham come again. Eriksson on the right hand side. Eriksson's curling ball into the box. De Ligt is there to hit it away on the half volley. Rather scuffed the clearance, but got it away in any case. Then fires the ball up towards Dolberg. The blonde-haired Dane bounces off him. Tottenham have got it back, and then exuberance from Dolberg. He's straight into Rose and concedes a free kick.
Yeah, and yellow card comes out. It was a late challenge, but once again Tottenham wasteful in that final third. Danny Rose, good driving run, opened up for him. And just that final pass, that's a nasty challenge from Dolberg on Rose.
And the Ajax forward, number 25, is booked for that. 2-0. And Tottenham with it on the right hand side. Kieran Trippier. I know the fact that Kieran Trippier was trending on social media. I'm sure he'll be receiving a great deal of criticism on there. We've obviously highlighted the way that he's played, but it's not just been tonight, has it? His form this season just has been nowhere near his form last season. Here is Son on the left hand side. Son takes it on, turns back, plays it back to Danny Rose behind him. Rose puts his foot on the ball. Son now is away. He's managed to get away from Mazraoui into the penalty area, but the covering challenge from Schürrle. Still Son though. Son to Dele Alli. Dele Alli stretches, little touch back towards Sissoko. Sissoko then into the centre circle to Vertonghen. Vertonghen now to the right hand side to Alderweireld. Here is Trippier, adjusts his body, plays it infield towards Lucas Moura. Trippier again, and then Eriksson back closer to the halfway line. Trippier now has space on the right, but pulls the ball square infield to Sissoko. Sissoko and Rose 40 yards out now to Son on the left hand side. Son, a couple of step overs into the box on his right foot, but Ajax very quickly close him down. 2 men were on Son there. Back to Rose. Sissoko 30 yards out. Sissoko, the ball will roll all the way to the right hand side to Trippier, who pulls it back onto his right foot, but the cross is headed away near the corner of the penalty area. Eriksson though wins it back with a header for Tottenham. Alderweireld's joined the attack on the right hand side. On his left foot, here's the ball in, looking for Llorente, and it came off De Ligt's head and flew away beyond the far post for a corner.
Yeah, really good period of possession for Spurs, working the ball across the pitch. They got Llorente in now, who is a physical presence. He is good with his head. They've got to give him the service.
Corner then, Eriksson to take it. Eriksson waits. The referee has just blown his whistle and is pointing at Dele Alli on the goal line. Dele Alli, there is Dele Alli standing right in front of goalkeeper Onana. Here's Eriksson's corner to the near post. That's a comfortable, easy header away by Frankie de Jong. And then Danny Rose has manhandled Ziyech, and it's a free kick to Ajax halfway inside their own half, and the referee points at Danny Rose, just wondering whether he might have thought about a yellow card for Danny Rose for that.
Yeah, Ziyech drew the foul. I think that's the third corner though that Eriksson has taken poorly, and he's hit the first man every time.
What about Kieran Trippier, Chris? What's happened to him?
Well, he's a shadow of the player he was. Maybe fatigued. There's a player he's
had injuries as well.
He has, but he's certainly lost his confidence. Had a really poor start to the game, missed his first challenge. But he's not the only one.
Trippier passing the ball nicely to Sissoko on the right-hand side. Sissoko takes it on and then lifts the ball into the middle. Danny Rose pushing well forward again. Rose manages to squeeze it to Son. Son quickly has two men on him again, but moving infield, right foot shot, blocked though by Mazraoui. Back to Eriksson. Eriksson's teasing ball into the back post. Dele Alli with a chance. Super save by Onana. On the volley, the ball bounced up. He shot goalwards from close range, 5 or 6 yards, and the Ajax goalkeeper made great ground to his left to push it away.
What a pass from Eriksson, picks out Ali. Defence splitting pass, but Ali has to score that. It's a brilliant save from Onana.
Corner then from the right hand side, a stretching header from Llorente in between two Ajax men, but headed it up and over the top.
They haven't got time to miss chances now, Spurs really haven't. 37 minutes left. He's 6 yards out on the 6 yard line. Needs to go back across the goalkeeper. It's a good height from Onana, but if Dele Alli goes back across, he scores. The goal was gaping. A confident Dele Alli buries that.
So it remains 2-0 on the night and 3-0 on aggregate as Dolberg wins a free kick against Sissoko 10 yards inside the Tottenham half. BBC Radio 5 Live. You can get in touch at 5 Live Sport. Download the 5 Live Football Daily podcast to hear what Maurizio Pochettino has to say after this game. Spurs need to score 3 goals without reply against Ajax. Free-flowing, slick passing Ajax. 167 goals now this season. The ball on the edge of the box for Son, who finds Rose. Rose chips it into the centre circle. Lovely touch from Lucas Moura to Dele Alli. Dele Alli cuts it back. Moura's running through. Moura scores! Brilliant goal on the breakaway by Tottenham. Is it too late? Do they have a chance? Well, they've got a foothold. It's Ajax 2, Tottenham 1. Lucas Moura 3-1 on aggregate.
Oh, and there's hope for Spurs. It's a brilliant break, breathtaking. Rose, little nutmeg on the linked inside his own half. Plays a crossfield ball to Moura, who releases Ali. He reverses the ball back to Moura, drives into the box, and it's all about staying calm. They haven't been clinical enough so far. Lucas Moura was then. Just a glimmer for Spurs.
Some excellent composure there as well. Dele Alli, not least, the way that he beat the challenge that came in on him and just rolled the ball into the path of the onrushing Lucas Moura, who slotted it away, just slipped it past Onana down to his left. And so, Ajax 2, Tottenham 1, 5 Live. You can listen as well to us while watching 5 Live final score tonight via BBC iPlayer, red button on your television, or on the BBC Sport website and app. Darkness has closed in now on the south side of Amsterdam. The lights are brightly on. And here's Lucas Moura, who has just maybe given Tottenham a sniff in this semi-final. Son plays it up now towards Dele Alli. Deflects out of play, throw in.
Well, just imagine one more now in the next 15 minutes, and then that will be a test for Ajax, their young players. Will the doubts start creeping in?
Danny Rose takes it on down the left, crosses low into the legs of Mazraoui, and it bounces out of play for another throw into Tottenham. Level with the edge of the Ajax penalty area. Danny Rose just holding that ball with the white stars on it. It's got Madrid written all over it. The venue for the final on June the 1st, where Liverpool are waiting. Here's Lucas Moura, back to Alderweireld. Alderweireld now to the right-hand side, to Trippier. Trippier gets a touch, plays it back in field towards Lucas Moura. Lucas Moura, 30 yards out, gives it back to Trippier on the right-hand side. Ajax have everyone back. In it goes into the penalty area to Son now. Son, a little touch on the ball from Schöne, and then Tagliafico dives into the challenge, clears it away as he's put under pressure by Trippier. Alderweireld's got it back nearer the halfway line. Then high ball, cross field. Dele Alli takes it down. Dele Alli drifts now away from Ziyech, and Dele Alli with a flourish, passes the ball back to Alderweireld. Alderweireld's ball to Trippier on the right-hand side. Son is there. Son back to Trippier, puts his foot on the ball. Son makes a run. Little pass infield towards Sissoko near the corner of the box. Sissoko turns onto his left foot, but turns into trouble. However, the ball is taken up for Tottenham again by Vertonghen. And now Danny Rose again. Rose against Mazraoui, who is backing away. Rose's cross, edge of the area. Here's Son in the D. Son sees Trippier. Trippier in space on the right. Ball across. Llorente, it's saved. It's saved by Onana. Ball still in the box. Lucas Moura now. Moura turns. He scored. He scored. It's his second goal for Tottenham. And Moura has got Spurs right back into this. Out of almost nowhere. It's Ajax 2, Tottenham 2. Beer is pouring down on us. There are Tottenham fans behind us throwing plastic glasses of beer, and what a night. There's another one. They're absolutely drenched, but Tottenham fans celebrating because it's 2-2, 3-2 on aggregate, and I can smell beer.
Well, miracles do happen. I don't know how Llorente misses. He's 2 yards out. It's on a plate for him. Onana saves. Then Schöne tries to scramble the ball clear. I tell you what, brilliant feat from Lucas Moura. Hammers the ball into the back of the net. And Ajax are panicking.
We've got a VAR goal check. We've got a VAR check going on, so player has not resumed. Ajax have made a change, and the right back, Joel Veltman, is coming on, and it's Lasse Schöne who has made way from the midfield, so Mazraoui is going to move into midfield. The check is over. The goal is given. The goal is confirmed. It is Ajax 2, Tottenham 2. Lucas Moura scored twice. It's 3-2 on aggregate, Chris.
You can't believe it. We saw a miracle last night at Anfield, and fair play to Spurs. Mauricio Pochettino gambled, put Llorente on, and they are putting Ajax under all sorts of pressure.
59th minute that goal was scored. Lucas Moura scored twice in 4 minutes. And now, Chris, what we said about the weight of expectation, a test for this largely young team, well, they've been rocked back by Tottenham. However, here's Ziyech, rides the challenge. Ziyech shot, takes a deflection which took it wide of goal and behind for a corner.
Well, do you know what? I think Ajax are thinking now we need to score again because Spurs are creating chances. So let's get back on the front foot.
There is a row of Tottenham fans behind us, and it was them that were celebrating and throwing the beer. It's a corner. Ziyech to take it. Ziyech to the edge of the 6-yard box. It's headed down and away by Llorente, who was back in there. In the middle of all that, the second goal, Llorente, the chance that he wasn't able to score, a save from point-blank range by Onana. However, Lucas Moura did ever so well to win the ball back, the loose ball inside the penalty area, turn onto his left foot and lash it in from 7 or 8 yards.
Fantastic finish. But I think it was €7.50 for a pint last night. I wouldn't be wasting my beer.
Here's Llorente now on his left foot, shoots for goal, and it's wildly wide and high and behind, and he hangs his head.
Well, I've never seen him score from outside the box. He probably has, but with his weaker foot off balance, would have been better served. Give it to Moura. He's the man in form.
So it's on for Tottenham. They're still behind, 3-2 on aggregate, but one more goal without reply, and it would be Tottenham-Liverpool in the final. As it's played up towards Tadic, who is shoulder to shoulder with Vertonghen, and it is the Belgian who gets the touch behind. Corner, Ajax.
And I'll tell you what now, John, you can smell the fear in this stadium. They've had it in their hands, Ajax.
Can't smell the fear, I can smell the beer. Ziyech. Here's the corner towards the back post, headed down by De Ligt, but Tottenham have done the job on him. Went down, then the shot flies in from Daley Blind from 25 yards plus, and it flew over the top of the crossbar.
It wasn't far away. Good first touch. Allowed him to get the shot off. Bouncing ball. It's about a yard over Maurice's bar. Just watching the Spurs goal again. It is an unbelievable piece of goalkeeping from Onana to block Llorente, but then the scramble from Schöne, he panics. Moura, composure personified, finishes it off.
We have less than half an hour to play. 2-2 on the night. But here come Ajax. And Ziyech with a chance that is wide on his left foot from 12 yards out. The cross from the left from Tagliafico. Perfect for Ziyech. And he swept it wide.
It was a good move down the left-hand side. Pulled across. Ziyech doesn't break his stride. 12 yards out, left-hand side of the goal. Goes down his hands and knees. It is inches past that far post. Tottenham breathe a big sigh of relief.
Now Tottenham come again. Dele Alli was so close to finding the pass through to Son. It was intercepted and cut out by De Ligt though. Here's Sissoko. Tottenham are now finding space all over the place. Son on the right, Son in the full-back position, into the box now, 2 Ajax men there. Trippier's available. Here's the cross from Trippier, headed down by Llorente, comes back to Lucas Moura, whose shot is deflected off De Ligt and wide and behind corner.
What a block from De Ligt. Llorente headed, the ball breaks. Moura 12 yards out, hammers the shot. De Ligt dives to his left-hand side and the ball goes past for a Tottenham corner.
This Champions League semi-final has just gone absolutely crazy. To corner from the right for Tottenham. Here's the delivery and a stretch from Llorente. It's headed up by Llorente and over the top. I thought it came off Blind.
I think it did, and that's a mismatch against Llorente. He has caused problems. Physical presence, get the ball into him. Moura buzzing in and around him. The Spurs on the offensive.
2-2 and it's a goal kick for Ajax, and the referee is onto this. He's telling Onana to get on with it. Ajax are looking to waste time. By the way, everything seems to be calm behind us, where the Tottenham fans are in the stand in amongst the Ajax fans. They threw the beer, but everything seems to have been quite cordial, in all honesty. It wasn't cordial when it was thrown.
It wasn't cordial.
Certainly wasn't. Here's Trippier. I can still smell it. My notes are soaked. Here's Trippier forward to Dele Alli. Dele Alli on the left-hand side. They've come to life now, Tottenham. Here's Son. He's popped up on the left-hand side. Son is away between 2 Ajax men into the box. Challenge came in. The ball bounces back to the edge of the area, and the referee has given that
a push from Son. Looked
free kick Ajax.
A bit harsh. He's looked a danger off the left-hand side.
Chris, quickly, because we haven't had a chance. Darren Fletcher in the studio mentioned about the first goal that De Ligt scored, that maybe VAR could have picked that up for a foul by Van der Beek on Vertonghen.
I don't think it was clear and obvious. I think the bigger issue for Spurs is why was Trippier picking up De Ligt and not Vertonghen, and Vertonghen was wrong side of Van der Beek anyway.
Tottenham are in the mood now. Eriksson with a long pass forward to Llorente. Llorente square to Dele Alli. Ajax are chasing shadows here. Dele Alli now to the man, the 2-goal man, Lucas Moura. Trippier's arriving on the right-hand side. Trippier's cross hits the defender, Tagliafico, and deflects behind, past the near post and behind for a corner. I thought for a moment there it might fly into his own net.
I tell you what, it's Spurs with the courage in this second half. They've been down and out in this competition before. Just one goal.
Son swirls the ball in from the right, but way beyond anyone inside the penalty area. I think he was looking for Llorente. Llorente gesticulates across to him, and we will see another Ajax change. Erik ten Hag is concerned about what he's seeing here. Already Schöne has been withdrawn, and now it's going to be Dolberg who is making way, having been drafted in right at the last moment to start this match when David Neres picked up an injury. And it is Dele Sinkgraven who's coming on, who can play at left back, he can play in midfield, and he's going out there to the left hand side, the number 8, Netherlands under-21 international. He's another youngster, another young prospect, Sinkgraven.
Yep, and another versatile player, and Tadic goes up in that centre forward or false 9 role.
Ajax 2, Tottenham 2. Tottenham have come from 2-0 down. 2 Lucas Moura goals in the 55th and the 59th minutes of the match. We have De Ligt playing the ball to Daley Blind, whose pass is out of play, and suddenly they are rattled here, Ajax.
And if Spurs get another, I mean, could this eclipse Liverpool from last night?
I would say no, but it's not far short. The ball comes back to Alderweireld. Turns and gives it to Lloris. We're into the last quarter of the match now. Llorente wins a header. Dele Alli, it flicks his heels actually and bounces back. Llorente is then beaten to it by De Jong. Now Van der Beek. Van der Beek to Ziyech. Ziyech back onto his left foot. Plays the ball back towards the halfway line. And then De Jong. The touch from Mazraoui. Mazraoui now to the right-hand side to Ziyech. Ziyech rolls it across. Mazraoui in the box, turns, shoots, hits the shins of Vertonghen, and then Danny Rose is able just to touch it away. However, Ziyech's back in possession, going round the outside of Rose, and then Dele Alli puts in the challenge, but the flag's up.
Yeah, went out for a throw in.
And now Dele Alli just needs to keep his cool here, because he's walking past Ziyech, who's clearly had something to say, but fortunately he has been sensible enough just to move away from the situation. It's a throw into Tottenham.
Yeah, it's getting hot in here, isn't it? A lot of tension. Ziyech and Ali. Ziyech pointing the finger at Ali, but he had run the ball out of play.
Ajax 2, Tottenham 2, 3-2 to Ajax in the second leg of this semi-final. Liverpool waiting. They'll be in Madrid on June the 1st. We'll be there as well, 5 Live, for the commentary on the Champions League final. This time tomorrow night, Europa League semi-final commentary live from Valencia with Alistair Bruce Ball and Don Hutchison. Valencia Arsenal, and we'll also be at Chelsea for their second leg against Eintracht Frankfurt. One more goal without reply and we would have a Champions League final involving 2 English clubs. Here's De Jong. De Jong to Van der Beek, who under pressure from Vertonghen managed to find the pass to Mazraoui. Mazraoui now. Ziyech, left-footed, clips it to the back post. It's chested down by Tadic, and Trippier makes a crucial interception to put it behind for a corner.
Well, why didn't Tadic leave that to Sinkgraven, who was behind him, and would have had a free header? It's a lovely ball from Ziyech, who chops inside on the right-hand side and just feeds it into the far post. Tadic, I thought he should have left it.
We're getting some answers now though from Ajax. They've recovered after the jolt of those 2 goals. Ziyech with a corner, De Ligt heads it across the penalty area, away by Lucas Moura, then headed back by Sinkgraven to Ziyech. Ziyech's cross, Lloris comes, he gets a hand to it. De Ligt in the penalty area on the right hand side. De Ligt drives it across, Lloris makes the save, he pushes it out into the penalty area, and he's fortunate there that it fell to a Tottenham foot to clear.
Oh, I think Lloris gets lucky twice. Flaps at the first one and just pushes it to De Ligt. It's a good cut back from De Ligt, fired across, and Lloris gambles, gets a right hand to it, pushes it centrally into the box, but Tottenham scramble clear.
We're into the last 20 minutes now. The Ajax supporters, the crowd here in the Johan Cruyff Arena, trying to do their bit and see the team through to the Champions League final. They're edging it just at the moment, but that is all it is. And here now, Ajax with the ball on the left-hand side. And a challenge by Trippier on the edge of the box. They're howling for a free kick. Referee Brick says no, and Tottenham clear it downfield.
Well, I think he tries to buy that. Dusan Tadic is on his way down.
Ajax start again. Daley Blind thought he passed it out of play, but it was kept in by Sinkgraven. Then the ball through the middle for Tadic. Vertonghen goes across with him. A back heel by Tadic, but he rather telegraphed that. Yeah. And Alderweireld was able to come across.
I thought he was offside, Tadic, initially. Eventually the flag goes up. But Ajax have responded a little bit. They're trying to get another goal. That may just leave the back door open for Spurs.
Free kick to Tottenham on the edge of their own area. I suspect Lucas Moura will now be trending ahead of Archie. Poor Archie. He's just been born. He had Victor Wanyama trending above him in the first half. Here he's off the field now though, so he'll probably have dropped down the pecking order. The ball played back by Ajax to Daley Blind. We're setting ourselves for what could be a dramatic finale to these 2 nights of Champions League semi-finals that have provided some thrills and spills for us, haven't they? Here's Alderweireld playing the ball back towards Lloris. Alone, red and white Ajax flag with the image of the great warrior, the mythical warrior Ajax, right in the middle of it. Here Trippier plays the ball forward, lovely from Llorente, takes the ball down, gives it to Dele Alli. Dele Alli's cross into the shins of De Ligt, straight behind, corner to Tottenham from the right.
Well, they're playing to his strengths. Llorente has a lovely ball into him, but he takes it on his chest on the half-turn, slides the ball into Alli, who fires it off De Ligt and wins a corner.
He's changed the game, Llorente, since he came on, even though he's missed chances. He's had an awful shot at goal. It's what they call a curate's egg. Here's Trippier. Trippier with the corner, headed at the near post, wide of the far post by Alderweireld.
Gets up well. It's a good corner, outswinger from Trippier, pace on the ball. Alderweireld level with the near post, 6-7 yards out. Just can't get it on target. And Onana, he's not rushing.
Archie's hanging in there apparently on the trendy. Although Onana's now involved. It's a goal kick to Ajax, and Onana is taking his time. A television cameraman appears from nowhere in front of us and walks along in front of our bench. They're beginning to move towards their positions for the end of the match. That's a concern for Tottenham. They need another goal. Here's Dele Alli. Sissoko plays it past De Jong, and he's away from him, and Sissoko gives it to Lucas Moura, right side of the area. It's pulled back and it's cut out by Sint-Graven, who is arriving back. Tottenham, the offside flag is up. It was played towards the halfway line, but Vertonghen got there first.
Once again, it's the powerhouse Sissoko driving from midfield, releases Moura right hand side of the box. I was wondering, is it an angle whether he could have got a shot off, and decided to pull it back. Sint-Graven, right place, right time to clear the ball.
2-2 is the score here. It's BBC Radio 5 Live. 3-2 to Ajax on aggregate, and we are now into the last 15 minutes, or at least we are now. Here's Lloris chipping the ball away. Here to the left hand side, Rose takes it down. Mauricio Pochettino stalking around down there. Ball intercepted by Mazraoui. Rose was a little heavy with his challenge from behind on Ziyech. No free kick. They're most displeased by that. That looked like a handball by Danny Rose, and it was. And Rose
stupid.
Bounces the ball into the pitch. Bounces the ball at the referee, actually, and it bounces over his head. And that's a yellow card for Danny Rose.
Well, it's just daft from Danny Rose, because it just allows Ajax to take the sting out of the game. Spurs in the ascendancy. It was a handball. You can't catch the ball, Danny. But then he punches the ball, picks it up, punches it into the floor. Just allows Ajax to try and regain a bit of composure.
Here is Rose now. Free kick from De Ligt, who was hit straight at him. Rose up towards Llorente. Might have been hauled over there by Daley Blind. Oh, lovely from Sissoko to go past Daley Blind. Sissoko then very nearly past Veltman, who just managed to get the touch, the substitute. And now it's back with Onana, who will clear. The time seems to be whizzing around for Tottenham. Just feel the way the game's going that they will create at least one more chance. Here is Christian Eriksen on his old home ground. Oh, Danny Rose is then taken out, cut the ball back. Ziyech arrived, took his shins away. It's a free kick, and that's going to be a yellow card for Ziyech.
Yeah, that's been some tussle. Ziyech and Rose. It's clever from Rose, draws Ziyech in, just chops back left-footed onto the ball. Ziyech fouls him, but I tell you, this stadium now is getting nervy. The pressure is on for Ajax, this young Ajax team. Can they see it through? Spurs don't know when they're beat.
It's Chris Sutton with us on 5 Live. So much Champions League experience. We've got Darren Fletcher alongside Mark Chapman back in the studio, who played so many Champions League games with Manchester United. We'll have more from him at the end of this game. We'll try and get you the thoughts of Mauricio Pochettino as well. And as I say, Europa League commentary. Valencia Arsenal tomorrow night on 5 Live. Ball up towards Llorente near the edge of the box. Llorente is picked up for a foul on Blint.
Llorente's a big guy. It's a lovely weighted diagonal ball into him, and all he does is trying to hold his ground, and he catches Blint with his right arm. I don't really see how that's a foul. He's allowed to fight for his space. And again, Onana taking his time.
2-2, 3-2 to Ajax on aggregate. If you've enjoyed our commentaries this week, join us on Sunday as well for the last day of the Premier League. Throw in to Tottenham. Rose up towards Dele Alli. Now here's Son on the left-hand side. Son turns back towards the halfway line and gives it to Vertonghen. On 5 Live Sunday, we will have commentary on Brighton, Manchester City. On 5 Live Sports Extra, Liverpool against Wolves. But the whole picture will be covered for you. Here is Sissoko. Sissoko, and then loses possession. And on the halfway line, Tadic. Dusan Tadic, the 34-goal Tadic, gives the ball to Sinkgraven. Now back to Van der Beek, who hits the shot. That's blocked by Vertonghen on the edge of the area. Van der Beek turns, gives it back to Ziyech. Left foot shot, hits the post and comes out. And Rose clears. So close to a third goal on the night for Ajax.
Oh, rattles off Lloris's left-hand post. Is that the break Spurs need?
Hit the post in the first leg through Neres. That was important. Ziyech there, his shot striking the upright and bouncing out. And now Tottenham winning the ball back inside Ajax territory, but that's a foul by Lucas Moura.
He wins the ball, Lucas Moura. But these two teams are now just slugging it out. Ajax go forward, Spurs go forward.
They are going at it, hammer and tong. Ajax with a free kick. 10 minutes to play. I think some more Tottenham fans are they being moved out down to our left.
It's a beer fest, isn't it?
Yeah,
just
it is.
Beer everywhere.
Sissoko back towards Eriksson. Eriksson goes for a high long ball. De Ligt is under that, heads it out here to the right hand side. Veltman has cleared it straight to Eriksson. Eriksson now into the path of Dele Alli, a stretch, but Veltman got in there first. Wins it back inside his own half. Here's Van der Beek, his pass to Ziyech. What a brilliant touch from Ziyech. Running at Vertonghen now. Ziyech back to Tadic. Vertonghen, excellent challenge.
What a challenge from Vertonghen. Great driving run from Ziyech down the right hand side. Releases Tadic. Vertonghen had to get that right.
Oh, and then Ziyech is all over and hacks down Danny Rose. Ziyech, who's just been yellow carded. Tottenham are going to make another change. Kieran Trippier is coming off, and Eric Lamela is making his return from injury. Eric Lamela, who's had quite a spell out with a hamstring problem, not played in the last 11 matches. Remember him scoring in the Champions League at Wembley against Barcelona. Eric Lamela, where's he going, Chris? Centrally? I think he is.
Yep, he's going centrally, and Moura has gone out to the right-hand side.
Llorente on the edge of the area, heads it down. Here's Lamela into the action, straight into the action. Gives the ball to Son. Son now. Lamela's made a run across the penalty area to the left-hand side. Lamela. Still Lamela. Back it goes to Danny Rose. We're into the last 10 minutes now. Dele Alli lays it off to Lamela just outside the D. Change of feet. Llorente in the box. Llorente back to Lamela. Just intercepted by Daley Blind and cleared away. So close. That would have been a clear chance if he'd been able to thread it through. Eriksson's ball in. Volley away by Daley Blind, leaning back. And Ajax are creaking here.
Well, he's using all his experience there, Daley Blind. Two crucial interceptions. Sissoko's gone to right back for Spurs.
Ben Davis is going to come on next. Maurizio Pochettino has his arm around the Welshman on the edge of the coaching area. Ajax, Tadic, high foot from Tadic, that's a free kick. They don't like that either inside the arena, and Tottenham wanted to take the free kick quickly, but it's Danny Rose who's coming off, perhaps mindful of the fact that Rose and Ziyech are in a right tussle here, and both of them are on a yellow card.
Yeah, and fresh legs. Davey slotting in at left back. But what is it? How many minutes? 8 minutes for Spurs to get something. That's unbearable, the tension in this stadium.
Son on the left-hand side. Tempers are just raised to our left here. Ajax fan actually with a steward who are exchanging views. It's like that. Tempers, tension is high. Alderweireld to Sissoko, who, as Chris Sutton says, has taken over right back, or at least on the right side. Alderweireld across to Vertonghen. We're in the 83rd minute here in Amsterdam. Tottenham must score and not concede, and they'll be through to the final. Right now it is Ajax going through. But St. Graven has lost the ball. Lucas Moura into the box. Lucas Moura, it's deflected back to Llorente. Llorente onto his left foot. He's crowded out, and Van der Beek will pass it away. It seemed for all the world it was about to open up for Spurs, then a foul by Ben Davies.
That's not a foul. Davies wins the ball. But I tell you what, Llorente, what an impact he's made. Just can't quite get the shot off. Crucial interception from St. Graven. Ziyech, I think Davies pinches the ball off him, and he goes down. Ziyech.
Llorente's made life really tough for Daley Blind.
He has the smart move, peeling on Blind, who can't cope with his physicality.
But at the moment it is Ajax who are going through. But we have had, well, at half-time it was 3-0 on aggregate. We weren't expecting this. Great credit to Tottenham. 2 goals from Lucas Moura, the first Tottenham player to score in a European semi-final since Mickey Hazard. Davis heads the ball away to Son. Veltman is all over Son. That's a free kick. They're howling again in the stands, and Frankie de Jong runs towards referee break. Just feel they're losing a little bit of composure, Ajax here.
Yep, not seen him like that. De Jong animated. They know what's at stake here. Both teams do.
Vertonghen goes long. Llorente again up against Blind, chests it down, bounces away, and Ajax are able to clear. Van der Beek now, as Ajax look to break away, his crossfield pass was deflected. Ziyech, who's a real danger man, scored one, hit the post with another that would have finished it, surely. Ziyech again, 1-2s. Now Tagliafico is going to get involved. The left back is marauding forward, gives it to St. Graven on the left-hand side. St. Graven, Ziyech is there, corner of the box. Ziyech across the edge of the penalty area. That was quite a heavy challenge by Alderweireld on the left back, but Tagliafico is now out of the game. No free kick. Tottenham bringing it forward. They're bringing it forward down the left-hand side. We have just 5 minutes to play, plus added time. Great Champions League drama here on 5 Live in Amsterdam. Sissoko on the right. Back it goes, nearer the halfway line to Alderweireld. Now Eriksson. Composure from Tottenham here. Alderweireld receives it, shuffles forward, gives it to Sissoko on the right hand side. Sissoko's ball in, does reach Son. Son in the box on the right. Son shoots. Outstretched foot of Tagliafico deflects it wide of the near post. Corner again to Tottenham.
Yeah, it's good from Son inside the box, just trying to create an angle on the right hand side and fire a cross in. Another corner to Spurs, and they've looked a threat from set pieces now. Llorente's on. All about the delivery.
Remember the corner at the Etihad, the controversial goal that was scored by Llorente. Let's keep our eyes on him. He's near the penalty spot at the moment. Lamela with the delivery this time. Eriksson with the delivery. Here it goes. Llorente gets his head to it. It's headed against the crossbar by Vertonghen. It bounces down. Vertonghen can't force it over the line. Now Tottenham have hit the frame of the goal.
Are they going to get a better chance than that, Spurs?
Lucas Moura, high ball into the box. Onana's come with a punch. He's punched it straight to Lamela. He gives it back to Eriksson. Eriksson, less than 5 minutes to go. Vertonghen just hit the crossbar. Still Eriksson finds a little space to give it to Lamela. Lamela, edge of the D, rolls it across to the left-hand side to Son. Son now inside the box, the crowded box. Son shoots from the angle, high over the angle of post and bar. Goal kick.
Oh, the angles against Son. Little step over down the right-hand side. Sells Veltman. Narrow angle, and it goes over, but the chance was from Vertonghen. He's got to score. He hits the bar, he's 4 yards out. So coming together, Llorente, I think it's the leg, and the ball just floats, it hangs in the air. And Vertonghen, that was the chance Spurs needed.
Just seen it flash up on the board. Tottenham had 20 attempts at goal to Ajax's 13. But
are they going to get a better chance than that one?
We've We're in the 88th minute here. Ajax 2, Tottenham 2. 3-2 to Ajax on aggregate. Onana with a goal kick. Dele Alli heads it forward. Tagliafico out there. Lucas Moura. Caught Lucas Moura on the follow through. The ball bounces on the halfway line. Dele Alli's been fouled. 87.5 minutes played. Free kick. Eriksson trots across to take this. Huge moment. A place in the Champions League final is at stake here in the next few minutes. Do not go anywhere. It's Ajax's at the moment. Ajax-Liverpool, 1 goal for Tottenham without reply. It would be Tottenham-Liverpool in Madrid. Eriksson across to Davis. Davis takes it on, floats the ball in. That's headed across the box by De Jong for Ajax. And then Van der Beek just thumps it high into the centre circle. Eriksson gets a touch and he's steered it out of play for a throw to Ajax down the left-hand side. That's a break. That gives them a break. They're waiting to make a change as well, Ajax, which will be their... Is that their second change? I think it is. And it's Magajan who's coming on, the Argentine central defender. Throw in for Ajax. Frankie de Jong is going to take it down towards the corner flag. Tottenham have got it back. Alderweireld, 88 3/4 minutes played. It bounces out of play for a throw into Tottenham inside their own half. Here's the substitution then. Van der Beek is sacrificed to bring on Magajan, Lisandro Magajan, who, whether he goes into central midfield or whether he takes a place at the back, let's just see. To throw into Tottenham. Sissoko's waiting to take it.
I think they're trying to get a bit of physical presence on Magajan, as Spurs have been quite direct.
Van der Beek has still got 10 yards to get off the pitch. And eventually on he comes. Looks as though he's going to take his place in the back line. And in fact, Daley Blind is being moved forward into midfield. And Magajan at the back. Here it is, long and forward. 89 minutes and 45 seconds. See how long there will be added on. Tottenham must score to get into the Champions League final. Ajax are going through. 5 minutes of added time. Eriksson back to the halfway line. Groans as everyone sees 5 minutes go up on the big screens. Vertonghen forward to the edge of the area. Lucas Moura wins the header. Tagliafico allowed it to bounce. Dele Alli was almost onto it. It was cleared away. And now Lamella's lost possession. Ajax played forward towards Tadic. Tadic up against Vertonghen, takes it to the edge of the box, slips it through, Frankie de Jong, but across comes Alderweireld to block it behind. Corner, Ajax.
Oh, it was good from Ajax. Lovely weighted pass from de Jong. The centre of the park releases Tadic. De Jong carries on his run and Tadic releases him right hand side of the box. Vertonghen gets back, but Ajax are going to take the time with this corner, keep the ball in Tottenham's half.
In actual fact, they don't have anyone in the penalty area, Ajax. They have a corner and everyone stayed back, bar the corner taker Ziyech, and Tadic, who's gone across to take it short, and he's miscontrolled it straight. He was trying to shield it from Eriksson. He's miscontrolled it straight out of play. We've already had 1 minute of the 5 minutes of added time. Tottenham must score, otherwise they're out in the semi-final. Davis cuts the ball back against Ziyech. He's got space in front of him. Ben Davis opens his legs now, but his pass is cut out by Daley Blind now in midfield. Ziyech loses out to Dele Alli inside Ajax territory. Eriksson plays it across towards Alderweireld. Alderweireld's going to go for the long ball. There's no one on the left wing. He's passed it straight out of play, and he screams at Ben Davis for not being there.
It's wasteful from Alderweireld. There's still time for Spurs. There is time. Ajax trying to kill the game. No rush for Ajax. Can they see it through?
Throw-in is going to be taken by Veltman. The noise here is intense. The atmosphere is just tense. Veltman with a throw. Ziyech back to Mazraoui. Spotted the run through the middle. Sinkgraven is up against Sissoko. It's 1 against 1. Sint-Graven plays it across. Ziyech is in. Ziyech to win it. Saved by Lloris. Bounces out to Tadic. Tadic curls it wide of the far post. Hugo Lloris has just kept Tottenham in this semi-final for the final minutes.
It's a big save down to his left-hand side. Brilliant strike from Ziyech. And Spurs quick punt up the pitch.
Comes back at Tottenham though. Alderweireld is under it for Tongan. 2 minutes, almost 3 minutes of the 5 of added time. It's gone long for Spurs. Moura beaten to it by De Jong. Tagliafico, overhead kick away. Sissoko chests it down. In comes the challenge from Sint-Graven. Vertonghen sticks out a leg, sends the ball forward. Now Lucas Moura. Ziyech, the ball won't come down. Lucas Moura prods it forward. And then across is De Jong to see it out of play. We're into the 4th minute of 5 of added time. If it's going to come for Tottenham, it's going to come late. Eriksson up to Llorente, tried to flick it on, only half cleared. Dele Alli nods it back across the box. De Ligt heads it away. Eriksson sees Lucas Moura arriving on the right. Back to Eriksson. His shot blocked behind. Corner.
It's Daley Blind who gets the block in. Really well worked from Spurs. Quick 1-2, right hand side of the box. Eriksson. You can't let him shoot from there. Daley Blind all over him.
This is it. This must be the last chance.
What's Lloris doing?
Lloris has come up. The goalkeeper's coming up. This is it. This is the chance. This is Spurs' chance from the corner. Eriksson high towards the penalty spot. Llorente with a header over. High and over. In between 2 Ajax men. We have played 4 minutes of added time. And it's a goal kick. And Ajax are 60 seconds away.
Spurs, Lloris goes forward. It's an outswinger from Eriksson. It actually looked at one stage like Lloris may get on the end of it, but Llorente got up. Just couldn't direct the header on target.
Anana says the ball that he's been given isn't the right ball, and he's thrown it away.
Is that it again?
And the ball boy's given him another ball. He's been yellow carded. The referee's run across, and then he threw the ball away again, and he's got another one, and it's a goal kick. So referee Brick has to add on another minute, surely. 20 seconds to go. The goal kick. Downfield from Ajax. Stumped back into the Ajax half. De Ligt wins the header. Then Ziyech, beaten to it by Davis. Son, back to Sissoko. Long and forward and high. 5 minutes of added time are up. Dele Alli slips it through. Lucas Moura has scored!
Wow!
He's just won it! He's won the semi-final right at the very end! Oh, what incredible drama! They can't come back from this. Ajax players are flat on their faces all over the pitch. Pochettino has run onto the field. He's down on his knees. Lucas Moura has scored a second half hat-trick. Lucas Moura is right at the bottom of a pile of Tottenham Hotspur. They're going to the final. They are going to the Champions League final to play Liverpool. I cannot believe it. It is extraordinary.
I've never seen anything like it. I really haven't. Spurs have been gallant, they've been bold. Llorente's caused problems. It's a lovely touch from Dele Alli, a deft touch outside of the right foot. Moura's got so much to do still, left-footed precision into the far corner. Unbelievable from Spurs. They just don't know when they're beat.
Lucas Moura now. Play's not restarted yet. Mauricio Pochettino was down on his knees on the pitch, praying, I don't know, for whatever gods it is who have seen Tottenham through here. Lucas Moura with a hat-trick. Tottenham are winning 3-2 on the night. Amsterdam is in shock. The Ajax players can barely get ready to kick off. It's all changed right at the end. Ajax are going out where we'll have kick-off. They've lined up on the halfway line, Ajax, with
rugby formation.
8 men. They take the kick-off. All 8 men run forward. We're still playing. Daley Blind forward. Couldn't find De Ligt. Son in with a challenge. Ajax now know that if they score, they'll be going through. And we are now into the 8th minute of added time. Dele Alli is bundled off the pitch. by Mazraoui. Throw in. There will be time to take this. I think referee Brick was telling Ajax how long he was going to play, you know.
Well, virtually everybody in the box. Veltman got a long throw on him.
It's not over yet. Veltman with a long throw. A second take. Here it is into the penalty area. It bounces down for Tottenham. It's cleared away. Just keeping an eye on the referee as Tottenham, Lamella's lost possession. De Ligt plays it across. That's headed away on the edge of the box by Llorente. Tottenham are off again on another counter-attack. Still we play on. Still it goes. Lucas Moura, then forward to Sissoko.
Take it in the corner.
Son's in the middle. Sissoko challenged by Blint. That's not a free kick. It's the final whistle. Tottenham have done it. The staff all run onto the field. Mauricio Pochettino walks across and shakes hands with Erik ten Hag, who must feel shell-shocked, the Ajax coach. But what a night, what a second half for Tottenham Hotspur. For the first time, Tottenham are in the Champions League final, and they celebrate wildly, and well they might. The match completely turned around in the second period. They're dancing. Tottenham players are dancing on the pitch here in Amsterdam. They're going to play Liverpool in Madrid.
Come on, you Spurs. I mean, unbelievable resolve, belief, character. Pochettino went all in. Second half, Llorente up top, but Moura was the man. And what a finish. Clever touch from Ali. Absolute bedlam in here.
Ajax 2, Tottenham 3. 3-3 on aggregate. Tottenham go through on the away goals rule, and on the 1st of June in Madrid we'll be there for Tottenham Liverpool at half time. You could not have believed we'd be saying that.
Well, you know, you talk about last night, Liverpool making the impossible possible, and Spurs again tonight. Half-time they were out, they were done, but so many times in this competition they have dug deep. They don't know when they're beaten. This Spurs side have just showed so much character, determination, resolve. They've been stretched all season, the main man Harry Kane out, but they've got there in the end. Spurs are in a Champions League final.
And as they say, seems. Mauricio Pochettino, all in black, is walking around. He's hugging anyone who will hug him back. All of his coaching staff. The players are still there on the far side of the field. Lucas Moura, he's got the match ball, and he's written himself tonight with a Champions League history, hat-trick into Tottenham's history.
Miracle Moura.
And the Tottenham fans up in the corner celebrate, and the Ajax players now are going to their supporters who are applauding them and cheering them to the heavens. And in the end, the weight of expectation and the way Tottenham played in the second half meant that Ajax have fallen just short. After their Champions League campaign began in July, it ends here in May, but Tottenham will go to Madrid in June, and what a night, what another extraordinary, incredible, stupendous, magnificent night of Champions League football. Ajax 2, Tottenham 3. Mark Chapman, pick the bones out of that.
Mauricio Pochettino is in tears. He is walking round the pitch in the Johan Cruyff Stadium in tears, hugging his players, hugging his backroom staff, taking the applause of those Tottenham fans who have gone out there. I can't think of seeing another managerial reaction like that, Darren. It's remarkable and understandable, and actually a joy to see that emotion and that feeling.
It's unbelievable, as you say. He's crying like a baby. He's actually sobbing. He was on his knees when they scored the goal. Unbelievable to see. As you say, it gets you emotional watching him, that how much this means to him. And what he's done tonight with Spurs, it's unbelievable. To see a manager like that, the reaction they've got as well, it's incredible.
Social media's gone into meltdown. I can't read any of them out because they're all swearing, and therefore I notice your technique, Chris Sutton. You just shouted and screamed quite loudly to make sure you got all your swear words out of your system before you could then analyse the Lucas Moura goal. I know what you were doing.
Do you know what? I should have been allowed to swear. I mean, I've never experienced anything like that. I watched the Liverpool game on television last night. Tottenham just dragged themselves up. They kept going and going and going. And, you just thought time was out for them. But all season in the Champions League, they've been special, haven't they? They really have. The scenes here are just incredible. How have they done this? I really don't know, but testament to the manager, testament to him for making the change, and testament to the players for just, for their sheer guts. They just kept going and going and going and got their reward against a top young team.
Mauricio Pochettino is with his players now in the corner, where the Tottenham fans are all up in the second tier in that corner, and he's peeled away and he's pointing at himself and then pointing at the players, and he's backed away and he's worshipping. He's giving a sort of worshipping motion to encourage the supporters to give the players their due for what they've achieved in the second half here, and the hugs and kisses go on, and the contrast inside the stadium here between those in green and the Ajax players, who have actually now moved back. They're doing a lap of honour here, the Ajax players, and they're actually mingling now with the Tottenham. All of them down there have contributed to the night that we've seen here. And Pochettino himself, the great Bill Nicholson, he couldn't reach a European Cup final. Pochettino becomes the first Tottenham manager to do that. And after this season that they have had, to be in a Champions League final. And let me remind you, we were with them right at the start of this run, Mark. Lost away to Inter in the group match, then lost at Wembley to Barcelona, then got a draw, if you remember that one, against PSV. Needed to go to Barcelona and get something. They got the draw against a weakened Barcelona team. But then what happened at the Etihad with the late drama there, the Raheem Sterling goal that seemed to have knocked them out, yet they lived on. And here, I think the clock ticked up to the end of the 5 minutes of added time when Lucas Moura scored that clincher.